Welcome to Baja SAEINDIA 2021. As you may be aware, the event that we conduct at the Baja SAEINDIA is Asia's largest out of the classroom education for college students. And we've been running it for 14 years now. And we've had thousands of students who've got this experience coming in and participating in the Baja. Uh, for those who don't know, and many of you become very famous in India and throughout the world. But for those who don't know, Jehan Daruvala is a young and avid racer, upcoming in the world of Formula 3 and Formula 2 now. And welcome, Jehan. We're honored to have you here. Starting
Thank
off,
you very much. It's a pleasure.
yes, welcome. How you were part of this one in a billion racing program a few years ago. Tell us how that kickstarted your career.
Yeah, so obviously I started racing go-karting when I was only 10 years old back in India. Uh, and actually for the first couple of years, I did most of my racing in India. Uh, at that time, I didn't really know of any scope in Europe or as such. So when the Force India 1 billion hunt actually came about, I was too young to enter because it was from age of 14 to 18, and I was 13 years old at the time. So
Wow.
I got chosen as the wildcard entry. So they were only going to choose one person below the age of 14 and one above the age of 18. So I managed to do the fastest time in whole of India above below the age of 14 by only 1/100th of a second. Uh, and that
Wow.
1/100th of a second has changed my life completely.
That's
After
amazing.
being associated, yeah, exactly. If not for that, I would have not been with them, and this whole process probably wouldn't have happened. And to talk to you through the 1 in a billion hunt, I was only 12 or 13 years old at that time, and I had to make the compromise of moving to London, moving to England, which is the home of motorsports, at a very young age to pursue my career in karting. And that's how it all went about. I had a lot of support from them. They always made sure that they put me in the top teams in every category I competed in, and that had helped me progress through my career at that stage.
So how was the support from your family, considering that you were so young and you were in school and you had an education to finish?
My family has been my biggest support from day one. uh, if they can, they come to every single race. Not only that, you know they want me to fulfill my dreams of being a Formula 1 driver or a successful race car driver. So it means a lot
Fantastic.
to me that they give me all their support, so I don't have to worry about what my family is thinking. Whether I'm
Fantastic.
winning or whether I'm losing, they support me the same way.
Excellent. And that's so important, isn't it?
Yeah, the most.
So coming back to the present, what are you doing now? What are you racing?
Yeah, so currently I'm actually in my hotel room in Spain. I've literally come back half an hour ago from the racetrack. I had a full day of testing in Formula 2, and I have one tomorrow as well. So yeah, it's a pretty hectic schedule for us. The past 3 days will be really busy, and then obviously 1 month off before the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Well, with all that, hectic racing schedule that you have, I'm glad you've taken out the time to come and, be our guest of honor and, tell us about your experience and tell all the students, who are participating about your experience. So in racing now, as I understand, it's fairly hectic. So how hectic is your racing schedule?
It's through the years. In fact, it's this is the least hectic year of my career so far. I only have 8 races, in fact, and like three 2-day tests. So all in all, like most people think that us racing drivers actually learn and spend and get most of our skills on track. Even though that's partly true, mainly we spent like 70 to 80% of our time behind a laptop with our race engineers trying to improve, trying to get better, because when we go to a racetrack we literally have 2 or 3 laps before going to qualifying. So we
Right.
need to, do all our preparation with our engineers, our race engineers, before we come to the track.
So the thing is, when you said, you said it behind, you spend that time behind a laptop practicing and, doing the races virtually. Now, as you're aware that this year, we are doing the Baja completely virtually. The COVID pandemic has hit everybody so hard. Uh, every year, the engineering
Yeah,
college students, they build a Baja buggy, but this year it's everything is virtual.
yeah,
And we've actually designed the racetracks, and the engineers have actually designed the vehicle,
nice.
completely virtually. So,
Wow.
uh, how important would you say is this entire virtual simulation to racing? And, how would, what words of wisdom would you share, with our engineering students?
I think it's massive. The world we live in now with technology and everything. It's literally, for me at least, like I said, I don't get to spend that much time on track. So I do all of my preparation virtually, study the data with my engineers. Then we go through simulations, setups, everything on a simulator. So
Wow.
I probably do thousands of laps on a simulator and then maybe 100 laps on a racetrack. So it really shows that all that practice comes a lot into use when we go out to do the real job.
I'm sure. I'm sure. So the thing is that, with you doing thousands of laps, on a laptop and then 100 laps. Now, all of us have done go karting at some point or the other, and 5, 6 laps later, you're exhausted. For you to do
Yeah.
100 laps, or tens of laps, in a race car, which is so much faster and generating so much more G forces, fitness plays a very important role. So, tell us something about your fitness and your nutrition regime.
Yeah, so I think fitness, especially in Formula 2, plays a very important role because we go through high G forces, like you said, but we don't even have a power steering. So in Formula 1,
Wow.
it has helped with the forces, they have a power steering. Also, for us, there's a lot of force that goes through our arms and through our body. So normally, I tend to train 5 to 6 times a week when I'm in the
Okay.
UK, also when I'm in Bombay, and it's very hard to find the correct balance because we have to be strong but also quite light. uh,
Correct.
for me, I'm not allowed to basically be over 70 kilos. 70 kilos is like my weight
Oh,
target.
wow. Okay.
So to build all the strength in my arms, my body, everything, but still be 70 kgs, means we also have to follow a strict nutritional diet. So when I'm
Right.
away from the track, I sort of make sure I keep my food not to the minimal, but I cut calories and I keep my food quite low.
And
But
eating the right
when
kind of
I'm on
food.
race, yeah, exactly. I do enjoy a lot of Parsi food, but when I'm in England, I don't really eat a lot of Parsi food. I cook
I'm
by
sure.
myself,
Wow.
and it's all about finding the right balance. At the end of the day, you still have to eat what you love and eat what you enjoy, but do it in the right proportions and the right quantities.
Correct. Correct. So in racing now, race engineers. All right. We've got so many thousands of students who are going to join the industry, and some of them may want to be wanting to make a career in a racing team. So my
Yeah.
question to you is that how important is your race engineer to you? What difference does he make? What sort of feedback do you give your race engineer in a race, and how does the race engineer react or respond to that?
I think it's probably single-handedly the most important relationship a driver can have is with his race engineer. Uh,
Yes.
it's almost hard to put into perspective how much that he has an influence on you. The first main thing is to have trust and belief between the two of you, that he believes what you're saying. And at the end of the day, your engineer is setting up your race car, so you need to understand each other super well.
Right.
And like nowadays, nothing goes amiss in a race car. They
Right.
have
Right.
all the data from literally like almost everything. So, like I said, the main thing for me is I really need to get along with my engineer. I really need to trust my engineer, and only that working relationship helps you win races and be successful in motorsport. If that doesn't happen, it's very difficult to be successful.
Correct. So the thing is that when it comes to watching races or motorsport in general, it's always the driver, who's in the limelight, right? It's the driver
Yeah.
who wins the race. And people in the back end are really don't come out forward, except when the driver wins a race, and then you see all of them. Uh,
Yeah.
the importance, as I understand, that a race engineer's role is extremely important. And I'm sure, with the feedback that you give them and the telemetry that's available, how the engineer
Yeah.
reacts is so important to you winning or losing a race. So
Yeah.
would I be right in assuming that?
Yeah, you're completely right in assuming that not only them giving you information when you're on the track, but your race engineer, your chief engineer, all of them work together to bring the fastest possible package to the track. Uh,
Right.
we work together as a team. So, if the driver doesn't perform well, you don't win. If the car doesn't perform
Correct.
well, no matter how good the driver is, you're not
Correct.
going to win. So you
Correct.
need to have both of them together. in
Correct.
in
So,
the
so
case like you see in Formula One, it's also arguable that the engineers make more difference than the drivers. They produce fast race cars, and those race cars always tend to win. So
sure.
you know it actually makes you can get drivers who are all very close, and then it is really the package which brings together the winners from the people who don't win.
Correct. Correct. So basically, as I understand from what you're saying, teamwork, the complete package and teamwork. So
Yeah,
the car, the engineers,
exactly.
what they do on track, as well as the inputs from the driver. So teamwork is very, very important.
Yeah.
So Jahan, if some of our students want, after they graduate, if they want to join a racing team, what advice would you give them? How would they go
Yeah.
about doing that?
It's obviously I have not a lot of experience in the engineering side, but from my experience, from what I have done over the last 10 years, I would say, Europe and England is like the home of motorsports. So
Right.
if you want to get into, like, if your goal is to be a Formula One race engineer, like for me, it's to be a Formula One driver. It's not like you can just go and be part of a Formula One team. There's the
Sure.
process that has to be followed. You have to be willing to explore, go out, learn from mistakes, learn new things all the time. And it's sort of similar for a race driver. You can start off from karting or even start off from Formula 4 into a team. Like, I race for Carlin. They have engineers who start in Formula 4 through years and years of experience, just slowly move up, go to Formula 2, and then have also opportunities to go to Formula 1. So
Correct.
like a driver itself, it's very
Well
important
said.
for young engineers, if they can, to be able to go abroad to explore. If they love racing, to go to different teams, see how environments are different, and just see where you feel like you belong.
Correct, correct. So therefore, going abroad and Europe and maybe UK being the hotbed of motorsport and in general and racing in particular, with all the large teams having their
Yes,
bases in the UK. So I think
yeah,
that would be one
exactly, and
step.
also
Yes, go ahead, please.
exactly, and also UK being dominantly English spoken, also it helps. Coming from
Correct.
India, a lot of us speak English, so it makes the language barrier really easy and easy to fit in.
Correct, correct. So a lot of engineers who graduate from India and especially from Baja also go on to do postgraduate programs. And I think maybe a
Yeah.
postgraduate program that they may find in Europe or in the UK would really be helpful towards them pursuing a career in racing.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful, Jehan. So one final question for you. You've climbed the ladder, and the hierarchy of racing in motorsport. You're
Yeah.
racing Formula Two now. Where do you see the future, with you? Where do you see your racing career going?
Uh, my future and my goal is to obviously be in Formula One. And for that to happen, I have to perform this year in Formula Two.
Yes.
There's always pressure, which is there in any sport. So, like I
Correct.
said, answering this question, hopefully I'll tell you my future is in Formula One, and hopefully it comes to you in the near future, as close as even next year.
Wow, wow. So I'm so happy, and I'm sure that all our students are also very happy and honored to hear you speak, being a future Formula
Yeah.
One driver. And we wish you all the best, Jahan. And we sincerely pray and hope that you do well and make it into Formula One.
Thanks a
Thank you
lot. It's
very
been a
much.
pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.